This is the third week of the Advent season. Does anybody know what week this is? What we're talking about this year? Or this year? Huh? Nope. Peace. This week is the week of peace. And as the third week, so today we're going to relight the candle of hope, love, and now we're going to light the candle of peace. As we prepare for the coming of Jesus, we remember that Jesus is our hope and our peace. From the prophet Isaiah, it says, "For a child has been born to us, a son is given to us, authority rests on his shoulders, and he is named Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, and Prince of Peace." Isaiah 9, 6 through 7. From the Gospel of John, it says, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. I do not give as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not let them be afraid." John 14, 27. Guess what? We get to light the pink one today. I find it that even myself, I don't understand why pink isn't love, but it's not. It's kind of weird, isn't it? It's not love. See? I'm not the only one that was a little confused by that, was I? I research it every year because it confuses me, but it really is. It's really peace. Yep, purple. It should be purple, purple, pink, purple. Just so you know. I get a little sad about it too, just in case. Anyway, but this is the third week, and it's the week of peace. Today, we're going to focus on peace as it pertains to Christ and to the world around us and to the church. Sometimes peace can elude us in many different seasons of our life. But does that mean that we should roll with the punches and not try to seek out peace? It's interesting, isn't it? Many of us, when we get angry and upset, we tend to hold grudges. And we make things miserable for other people around us so that they cannot have or experience peace, especially while we're angry. We cannot have people around us who are happy and joyful and are at peace when we are not at peace. So we make other people miserable also. This causes great anxiety and tension between people and can destroy relationships. If you don't believe me, as a spouse and as a husband, most guys will know this saying, right? Happy wife, happy life, right? I'm not trying to side one side or the other, but think about it for a second.
Something about a happy spouse because
It should go both ways. But it is something that we can relate to because most everybody has heard that. Happy wife, happy life. If mama's not happy, ain't nobody happy. But that means that one of us is being miserable and we're bringing everybody else down at the same time. If one person in a relationship is not happy and they're angry and they're bitter, they tend to walk around and make everybody else's life miserable to bring them down to where they are. They rob their peace. Do you think this is the way that God has intended his children to be? As we read 2 weeks ago, one of the names of Jesus, the one who is to come, his name was the Prince of Peace, right? Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, and Prince of Peace. Have you ever wondered why he's called the Prince of Peace? Most people kind of like just roll with it, right? He's a peaceful guy. Maybe that's why. Do you think it's because that he intercedes for everybody? He gets in between everybody's arguments and their fights, and he tries to solve all those? I think I remember a scripture somewhere that says, "Oh, I'm not an arbiter." Jesus actually says that. See, when we look at peace through our day and age and through the way that we see the world right now and the times that we live, we think of people being obedient to civil law. We think of them not arguing and fighting with one another. And this is a pretty good definition and a good way to look at the word peace. But if we're to truly understand how they used it in the Bible, we have to understand what they really meant by it. The Hebrew word for peace is, does anybody know? Shalom. There's a couple of different spellings of the word. It's translated in the Septuagint most often by the Greek word eirene. It has a wide semantic range, including the notions of totality, completeness, success, fulfillment, wholeness, harmony, security, and well-being. In the Old Testament, when they talked about peace, they talked about it as peace from war, and peace from hunger, peace from famine, peace from havoc, peace from disorder. In the New Testament, peace is also talked about as peace from war, but it also transcends this to talk about being at peace with our Creator. It's about being complete and being whole and being in harmony with Jesus Christ and finding peace for our souls. I can tell you there's a whole world out there that needs to find peace for their souls. We will never find peace in money. We'll never find it in a job or in things that we buy, because peace does not come out of those things. Peace isn't determined by where we live geographically. And I say that because how many people go, boy, you know, I'd be happier if I lived in Florida, or I'd be happier if I lived in Arizona, or I'd be happier if I lived in Ireland. Peace doesn't come from that, though. And how many things we own, or how big houses that we have, or how fancy the cars we have, or how big our bank account is, peace doesn't come from those. Peace is not found in the materialistic world. Paul talked about the same situation in Philippians 4:9 and then 12 and 13, where it says, whatever you have learned or received or heard from me or seen in me, put into practice, and the God of peace will be with you. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether fed or hungry, living in plenty or in want. I can do all things through him who gives me strength. Paul found peace and contentment in the strength of Jesus Christ. We also must look to Jesus for peace, not just peace of mind, but peace in our hearts. The peace that makes us whole, the peace that fills us up, the peace that reconciles the sinner with the Creator. When we talk about peace on earth, we're talking about peace between God and his creation. We're talking about the prodigal son and daughters coming back home. We're talking about everybody that we see in the streets and in the stores